If it's 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's LinkedIn Live Hour of Empower. Today, I'm so honored again to have Andrea with us today. And our key word is freedom, which I think is just a wonderful word, has so much value, and is just essential to everything we ever do. Chat's open. We really depend on you to steer the conversation where you want it to be. We're here to help people, as many as we can, as fast as we can, and love your comments. Uh, Anything you can add to it, and really network with the people. And that's what we're here for, is to make the audience justify the time they invest here. So with that, like I said, chat's open. Andrea's here. Andrea, why don't you say hello to our lovely audience?
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be back. And I'm hoping that we are getting a lot of comments about this great topic, freedom. What does it mean to you, freedom? I mean, if we look back in to the past and historical people we know, then they did not have the freedom of speech, for example. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Nelson Mandela was in jail for 17 years, I believe, because he used his freedom of speech, and this is where I put him. Yeah, and so many others. And for me, freedom of speech is freedom of mind, because there everything starts. If your
Mm-hmm.
mindset is if you are in alignment with yourself, with the love, with your loving yourself, and so many other things fall in place. You don't care about you really don't care about anymore what other people are saying about you, because you know yourself very well. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if somebody is saying, "What a blonde bitch," and I just go like, "Yeah, right." Who are you talking about? But they are allowed to say that. That is freedom of speech, huh?
Mm-hmm.
They can tell me, can say this. The only thing you can is react in the right way by not reacting. Yes. What is freedom for you, Don?
Well, freedom, I relate to movement,
Mm,
right? Because when you're free, you can move. And when you're not free, you're stuck, right? So
mm,
it's either moving forward, or wherever you want to go is freedom, versus having to settle for less than you deserve or less than it's fair. And so, freedom can be physical freedom, could be mental freedom, could be emotional freedom, could be all kinds of freedom, because everything needs room, every to grow. How you can't grow a fish bigger than the bowl you put it in, you
mm,
know? And I think most people should be giving themselves more freedom to do more freedom to say more freedom to be with people who they want to be, right? And
yeah.
who gives you the freedom? Yourself. You ask yourself every day, am I in the place I want to be, or am I putting myself in a jail that I'm not going to be happy in, right? And then the key is to find the key to open up your own freedom, and how much more could you do if you freed yourself to do it? And I think the judgment is what stops people. No difference when people go to jail. There was a judgment made by a judge or a jury.
Mm.
That's why they went. So that's what freedom means to me. Let me just introduce some of the great people here, because that's the freedom to share and to recognize is important too. So Dean's here. Good morning, Dean.
Hello,
Cynthia,
Dean.
Cindy's here again. Thank you, Cindy, for taking the
Hi,
time today.
Cindy.
We've got Roxanne here. Learning to let go of expectations has brought me to a new level of freedom.
Yes.
That's again the jail you put yourself in. If you aim so high that you're probably not going to make it, and then feel bad about shooting too high, you know, set little or boundaries. for yourself to achieve something. Christine, great to see you, Christine. Everybody should know Christine. She's just a delight. Freedom from fear, self-pity, self-seeking, regret, and from financial insecurity. As soon as you free yourself up from one situation, you are engaged in another situation. And freedom is pushing through, right? Playing through. And that's where you get to the other side. And I think that's important. So Pauline is here. Terrific. Thanks Tuesday to everyone. So great,
Hello.
Andrea. So what do you think of some of the comments?
Yeah, I think here freedom of expectations, that is really a nice one, because that is free. That is true freedom. If you serve somebody, for example, and you do not expect anything back, then you have freed yourself. I used to be people pleaser, right? So I was never free. I had to please and please, and I was always thinking, the more I give, the more they will love me. But did that happen? No, they were just using me. I was never free. And when you understand that you are a people pleaser, and when you set boundaries to yourself, and every time you overstep, you see, oh, there goes my freedom. Yes, because you're saying yes to something you want to say no to. That's as simple as that. And then you are in a situation you don't know how to come out. That's why some people say no is one sentence. I say, try to say, to get used to it, it doesn't fit my schedule. It doesn't fit my schedule. It's a lot easier than saying no. But like this, you are practicing. Yeah. So people pleasing is definitely something which living in a cage. That is that is really something, and you need to come out of this cage, out of this comfort zone, and knowing, being aware of yourself, knowing yourself, and then you free yourself. This is where the freedom is, and that's why I'm saying, for me, freedom is freedom of mind, and because with my mind, how I set my mind to positivity, for example, I free myself, because I let go of the negativity. I am in control. I cannot be in control of something which is outside myself, but I can control what is within. And everything with us starts from within. And as soon as we know this, we have the freedom to change our life. Isn't that beautiful? Don, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that, the saying, it's better to be in the dark than go to the light and then go back to the dark, right? Because once you see what is or what could be, you wouldn't want to be where you started from.
Yeah.
And I think freedom is like an opening of a door, where one door closes, another door can open up, but you're the only person who could turn the knob on that
Yeah.
door. And it's really about how much freedom do you need and want to be happy, because too much freedom and no responsibility or no plan. And I like what you said, Andrea, about having the ability to put things in your schedule or take things out, right? Because if you say yes to everything, then your schedule is whatever you said yes to, not whatever you really needed.
Yeah.
And if you're not happy at the end of the day, look through your actions that day. What did you do? Who did you do it with? What was your intention? What was the result? And good investments stay and bad investments should leave. So freedom is really about change, because if you
Mhm.
don't change, you're not free. Here's a great comment from Cynthia. Freedom from responsibility to other people that may not have your best interest in mind. Bad supervisors and bosses. Like I say, if it's not one jail, it's another jail. Some
Yeah.
people put you in it, you put yourself in some of it. But that's why you need to spend some time thinking of how do you free yourself up from things that are
Yeah.
holding you down, right? And that's really important. Pauline says freedom is a state of mind and course of specific actions.
Yeah.
So true. And then Cindy comes back with freedom from medical issues, you know?
Yeah, that is very true. And Christine was saying freedom from fear and self pity. There you go. Coming out of your comfort zone, coming out of your cage. You will, the fear lives in your head. It doesn't live outside of it. And you are in control how you feed your mind. If you feed your mind with, I can give a beautiful example. I was always afraid of heights, always. And as soon as I had my transformation, and then it was even in a warehouse going on these rolling stairs, and when they were like hanging in the open air, I was like, oh my god, there's nothing there, huh? So I started sweating and shaking on these stairs. And then after my transformation, I tried it. I went into the warehouses and went onto the rolling steps, and I did it, and my heart was beating, and I said to myself, no, 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 you can do this. And I ended up being in Bavaria and in the south of Germany, being in one of the ski lifts, and
Mhm.
going over that ravine. It was in the summertime, and I thought, whoo, yeah. And I was sitting there, and I had my camera, and I was filming it. I was filming it so that I could enjoy it again. And when I was at home, I was looking at that film, and it was fantastic. It was fantastic to be so free. Yeah, it was
Mhm.
fantastic. And that is one is fear is in your head, and you feed your mind. You feed your mind, and outside your head, where you have stored that fear, there is life. There is
Yeah.
life.
And that's where freedom from medical
Yes,
issues, the
that is
next
also a
comment.
good one.
I was inspired at a young age by Corrie ten Boom. Her mindset enduring imprisonments as a young woman during World War II is astonishing and inspiring. And Christy's just one of the best. And you have the power and you have a purpose when we understand this. We have freedom from the prison of our mind.
Yeah.
So true. Uh, we've had hello, respected all. Ice, so glad to see you. And what do you have to say with Christy's comment about
You
purpose?
You have
And
power. Then, when we understand this, we have freedom from the prison of. This is exactly what I'm saying. Yes, you have the power over your mind, and when you know where you want to go, you just go. And every fear, I had fears talking, like in lives, and yeah, I had the fear, and look where I am, and I can't stop talking. I go like blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but this is because I have a purpose, and my purpose is to teach, to speak about self-love, and making people aware there's nothing to be afraid of when you love yourself. And the contrary, it will open your life. It will open up your life. It will open up everything around you. And I keep saying the grass is actually greener on the other side in your life, because everything is better. Everything is simply better because there is nothing. Of course, we still have our responsibilities for others, but but because we have taken the responsibility for ourselves, then having responsibility for others is a piece of cake.
mm-hmm.
It's a piece of cake that you just take them on board. Yeah, you just take them on board.
Well, for sure. And I want to remind everybody that Christy and Kelly's show, The Awesome Journey, is today too. So,
Oh,
and that's at, I believe, 111 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, you know, and then Andrea was just mentioning she's giving away a free opportunity. What is it, Andrea?
Yeah, I've been looking for 5 people. At the moment, I have 3 already. So I need 2 more people who would like to attend a course of 2 to 3 hours, depending on how committed you are. And the course is about the first step into transformation.
And it's a free course.
It's free. It's my giving back. It's my bang. I'm back. I'm healthy again. Bang. I'm going to show I have to party. So I party with this.
Well, that's nice of you, and it's nice of everybody to be the agent of change and to
Yeah.
be the messenger of, you know, really what they stand for and what they want to give back, because giving back is giving, right? And hopefully when you give back, it models other people to give back and maybe to pass forward, right? If we can all give more of what we already have to people who could use it and then collaborate, that will give 2 people freedom, right? Maybe both people can get out of the jail together if they couldn't get
Yeah.
out themselves. You know, so in a way, it's almost like a jailbreak. Um, Wishing all a bright morning. Thank you so much for the thoughtful comments, because everybody who has a kind word and shares it creates a kind word in everybody's mind. Here we have a Chimera. Hello, everyone. I see you're a regular. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you gain so much value from things we talk about. And like me and Andrea are doing today, we're following the comments. So the more comments, the more questions, the better we can be to address what's going on with someone
Yeah,
today.
definitely.
Self-love is a form of freedom. Like
It's
Andrea
a
said,
freedom to everything.
well, love is the ultimate answer, right?
Yeah.
So whether it's self-love, well, whether it's love to someone else or to something else, you know, it all works. Okay,
Oh,
we go on to Christabella, who I haven't seen in a while, is here. Thank you so much for coming. Hey, everyone. Um, Christy says, thank you for the shout out on the awesome journey. Well, you know, we all rise together, and there's never enough good information and quality people providing it. So when somebody like Christy or Kelly or Andrea is offering their time, their thought, and their effort, it says as much for what they're promoting as it does themselves, right?
mm,
So anybody can say something, anybody can tell something, but it's just showing up and the showing that makes a difference. I would love to be part of a transformation program too.
yes. Send me a
So
DM.
one
Send me a
down,
DM.
one to go.
Yeah,
I
great.
would I would be very interested in it. Of course, oh, you're done.
So here we go. Thank you.
Take
Send
down
me a DM. The more, the better.
the happy terrific Tuesday, everyone. So happy to see you, Don and Andrea. You know what we're demonstrating is the power of sharing, right? Who knows
Yes.
how long or who would have ended up being the fourth and fifth for Andrea, but isn't it nice to be with people you already know and now
Yeah.
can work with directly? Because that's where it needs to go, is around the table. You know, why not share with the people who are right there with you, sharing and wanting to share?
Yeah.
And that's where I think most people need to reach out to the people who they're seeing every day and just say, nice seeing you. You know, you don't have to come with a business proposal. You just have to come with a greeting. And that's why it's so nice when people come here and say, good morning, nice to see you. I mean, because that makes a difference for everybody. And you know what? It also makes a difference for the people hearing it, right? You're
Mm,
modeling something to somebody, and now they think maybe I should say something to somebody. And the more we actually give ourselves the freedom to actualize ourselves, to say, okay, if I had every opportunity I wanted or needed, how much time and effort would I apply to it? Or would I still be doing what I'm doing and using that as an excuse that I'm not doing more because what I'm waiting for isn't here yet? You know, if you want something, you need to go get it. That's a sure way of getting it. If you're waiting for someone to give it or show up, you're going to wait a long time and maybe never get it. So it's like one hurdle at a time. The sooner you give yourself the freedom to jump, to rise up above that hurdle, like Andrea says, you then feel the joy of freedom, of something new, something exciting, something you were afraid before and now you're happy for. So what's your thoughts to all this, Andrea?
Well, there is one thing I want to say about freedom and getting freedom of mind is letting go of what is really not necessary, and our our human needs, what society has taught us how we have to live, they are putting us in our cage. They are putting us in our cage, and I have given this example before. If you imagine a seesaw, yes, and they're like the ones also kids are on the playground, and on one side you have certainty and on the other side you have uncertainty. So everybody is going for certainty because society has told them so. But they do like a little bit of uncertainty. That is, for example, going on a holiday in countries they don't know. That is a bit of an uncertainty. So they're constantly going like this, yeah. And then you have, on top of that, you have another seesaw, and on that seesaw is connecting with others, and also getting the how was that English word, the significance from others. So can you imagine, significance is, for example, hey, I saw that woman with with these shoes, and when I buy these shoes, the guys will see me because it gives nice sexy legs. So I buy them, and then the next day the same lady thinks, oh, I saw that dress going with it. I'm gonna buy this dress now. That will really be the perfect outfit. Yes, and then on the other, and then you see she's already preparing to get ready to connection and love. She's going out. She's going into a restaurant, or she's going into a place where you meet people, and she catches eye with a guy. And what happens? The guy thinks, "Oof! I hope I didn't spill any soup on my shirt at lunchtime." And she says, "Oh, she thinks, oh, I hope this dress is fitting well, and I wished I would have washed my hair this morning." You see, everybody is too busy with themselves, and on the other side, they are trying to fit this constant seesaw thing. It's a rat race. When you let go of that, can you imagine the freedom, Don? Because the only thing we need is personal growth. And through the personal growth, we will connect, because we connect from the heart and not from the ego mind.
Yeah, I mean, that is so well put. I want to recognize Rita. Rita's been just great the last week or two, been supporting the show and bringing great comments. And I've had some really wonderful opportunities to talk and share some, insights into how to make this program even better. But with what you said, Andrea, to follow up on it, people have to get freedom from the past, right? And that is a key freedom, to let go of what is done, what is over. And until you can let go, can you grab on to something new and purposeful? And then, we always talk about, where did you get some of these thoughts from? Where did you learn to do certain things a certain way? And maybe they were really relevant back then. Maybe that was the best you could do, but how have you changed? You change how you do things. And, the adventure of being the one to make the choice, of always being in a choosing situation than being chosen, right? Because then you get it as fast as you want, the way you want it. And you're just, the idea is spend more time and effort to get something sooner and work with it than to keep it in slow motion and wait for it. Because the
Mm.
waiting is the hard part. Instant is easy. So, anyways, thank you, Rita. Kim comes back with Ice. Good morning. Thank you. Rita, I agree, connect from the heart. Lillian is here. I had a great call with Lillian yesterday afternoon.
Okay.
Going to get Lillian on a show. Morning, everyone. I'm late this morning. Sorry, never sorry. Even a minute is a minute invested and a change, hopefully for the better. Ice says, love the thought by Andrea, ma'am. We connect from our heart. Linda's here, who's just a wonderful person. Morning, yes, some think clothes, etc., make them and have no clue. And happy, never had that as a part of me. And hope others will see it. It's the person inside that matters. And that's all that matters is the person inside is the whole, is part of the person. And if
Mm.
you don't give the inside as much credit as you give the outside, if you don't give yourself enough credit as you do strangers or people you don't know about, whose fault is, if you had a credit manager who kept giving credit to people who never paid their bills, how long would that person keep working there? Right? If you give more of yourself than you get in return and don't serve yourself in what you have to help yourself with, it's just a matter of recalculation. It's just, another adjustment. Lillian, morning. Kim says, uh, good morning. Glad you made it. Lillian's here. Hi, Kelly's here. Amen. Andrea, love your stories. Yeah, it was a good story, kept people's attention. Hello,
Mm.
nice to listen. I never saw this person. Zoom party, host Omar. Well, thank you.
Oh, wow.
You
Welcome.
okay. Well, do you know Omar, Andrea?
No, I'm
Me
just,
neither, but I'm
I
glad.
just like love the name.
Yeah.
Super so
Oh,
much.
yeah, I know Omar. Yeah, I didn't see the Zoom party. He's been on the show 2, 3 times. It's usually
Okay.
him. But I guess something. Well, we did pay attention to it, Omar. Ice, morning, my friend. So, what do you think about this? Oh, audience that spans the whole world that seems to share an interest in what we're talking about, Andrea.
Yeah, I think it's good. It's good. The deeper we go, I feel the deeper we go into our conversations, the more they seem to react and learning from it. Huh? We are open eyes and open feelings, and that is our purpose here. Yes, that
Oh,
is
for
our purpose to how to teach and to make others going away with a happy feeling after 1 hour. I hope.
Oh yeah, and the freedom for them to participate while we're here. So it's not like someone's just talking at people. It's people are talking with people and giving them the freedom to express themselves that they wouldn't have had without this opportunity,
Mm,
right? And another thing is it gives people a chance for someone else to direct their mindset. Because when
mm.
you're talking about buying shoes and you're talking about buying dresses, everybody's mind starts thinking buying shoes, buying dresses, where's this going? And what that does is it replaces, oh, I owe a bill tomorrow. Oh, I've got to buy something.
Mm,
Oh, I've got to do something. You get yourself into, I got to do things instead of
mm.
where am I right now? And what am I doing with what I have? People can't wait to get to
Yeah,
somewhere. And as soon as they get there, they want to go somewhere else. It's like, well, enjoy where you're at, because you can take yourself anywhere, but if you don't take your mind on that vacation with you, you've just got the same mindset in a different place,
yeah,
and you can close your eyes and be anywhere in the world and never know it till you open your eyes again. So I think it's the freedom to dream again, to believe again. When kids are real small, they have these wonderful dreams. I'm going to be this world class soccer player. I'm going to be a president. I'm going to be an astronaut, whatever it is. And they believe it when they're 3, 4 years old,
yeah.
right? And then over time, someone says you're not big enough, you're not strong enough, you're not smart enough. And pretty soon that astronaut never happens, or that president. So, the key is why not be a kid again, dream again, believe again that you can be more than you have been without punishing yourself for whatever got you to where you are. Because in essence, you're at the starting line and everybody's there together every day. Yesterday doesn't pay tomorrow. Kim comes back with what are some strategies to rebuild or reinforce self love? I'll let you take that one, Andrea. Yes, I agree. It's our choice to make the best of everything. That's the freedom, too. You're only as free as you want to be. What's your thoughts, Andrea?
Strategy. I don't know if I would call it strategy. The one thing is you need to feel so much pain that you want to change. And when you want to change, then you need to sit down and ask yourself, who am I? What do I want from life? What are my values? Sit with the questions and answer them. Write them down. The same questions you give to your friends or your family members, and you write other, what do I like about me? It could be one that question. And you ask your friends and family members, your best friends, huh? Be careful. What do you like about me? What don't you like about me? What can I improve in? And you will be surprised, because those things you fear, they would like you to see, to improve. Yes, that
Mm.
is one. And when you have gone through this transformation, you know what has been installed in your head since from far away, from somewhere in your childhood, and then you can work on those to understand the triggers.
Hmm.
And there are many self-help books out there, but they always give you a little set to wanting the change, but often you don't do anything with it. You read the book and you put them in on the shelf. You need somebody to have a sparring partner to get you there, to make you go, to make you not stop, and really wanting to have this change, the transformation. And once you have done the transformation, then there is things like the gratitude list. We mentioned that before. That's very important. Finding your balance in meditating, or just if people don't, there are many people who do not believe in meditation, huh? Because they think, oh yeah, but I cannot let my mind go, I can't do this. Well, there are two things. One, meditation is that you are supposed to let your mind go, but you can do that by concentrating on your breathing, and your mind will stop. And try it and ask yourself, what is my thought at this moment? And you will come to the conclusion, there is no thought. There is no thought. Yeah. So that is one. The other one is meditations, and you can. I'm trying to get into this more, to teach others, is a guided transformation, whereby you let the thoughts come. Yeah, you let the thoughts come because they ask you to imagine this or that. And this is how it starts. And when you do this on a daily base, and you have your exercise, because one of the things you will notice when you're not fit, for example, healthy, you want to work on that. You want to work because you realized you need to care about yourself in order to love yourself, to keep that love, to manifest it. But that's what it is about, the manifestation of, after the transformation, the manifesting of keeping the love for yourself is daily practice. It's a lifestyle. You can never go any other way again. But that is not the problem, because you don't want to leave it. You want to do it because you the feeling this love for yourself and the freedom which comes with it. You don't want to let go. I promise you that. You will not want to let go. No, really not.
Well, you seem like you found a lot of keys to helping your mindset. And, when we come back to freedom, the freedom is to be in the now with
Yeah,
people in the now. Because, like you say, you could read a book, listen to a
yeah,
tape, but it's the book and the tape and it's you, right? And it's good information. But if you have someone next to you in the moment you need somebody or something, and based on their support, you're able to make a move in the right direction. That's why in this impersonal, isolated, insulated world, it's getting harder and harder to be free, to go out, to look and see strangers, right? And also, when you see strangers, sometimes you see dangers, right?
mm,
If you can communicate with a community that's safe, that's positive, and really, even my profile keeps changing based on what the show continues to reflect, because it continues to
yeah,
evolve. And now I kind of look at it, because its first stage was here's how to do LinkedIn, right? And that's important, but it's boring. And after you get enough technique, most people, that's enough. But that turned into mindset. And what that meant is everybody has a mindset of some kind or another. And basically, how do they optimize it? And then what's its transition to is kind of a library of stories, because people are sharing. Once your story's been told, you can only tell it so many times and everybody's heard it, right? And telling it again doesn't bring a lot more value. But if you can move from your story to other stories that you're, especially present
mm,
day, like I did this yesterday, this is what I got. I mean, how relevant, how recent can your information be also? And where are you moving the audience? How are you improving it? Because one can have classes and limited to so many people, but one also has classes every time they speak in front of a crowd, right? They may be giving them 10 minutes, they may be giving them one thought, but that's
mm.
enough to get people moving in the right direction. So I'd say the best way to be supportive is with people in the now with you. Cindy says, my daughter learned to do a Christmas song in American Sign Language when she was very small. She found her passion then and is now only an interpreter, but an operations manager at the company she wanted to work for. She's been there for 10 years now. And it just shows you how a seed planted early can manifest itself later on
Yeah.
to a lifelong passion. Kim comes back with, Andrea, very powerful questions shared to reflect and determine where we are ourselves. Kim says, yes, Don, the now. This is the word I keep hearing and feeling.
Mm.
Operating, reading of now. This is when all the stuff happens, is right now. You can't go back, and the future is not here yet. So the best you can do is what you have in front of you. Didn't you know you were on YouTube also? And honestly, it was great. Yeah,
Dean without the potato.
yeah. Dean's great, and he's found a family, and we found. I'm going to
This
maybe
one.
maybe
This one is very important.
I learned to let the thoughts come, then examine each thought, weigh it out for truth. If there's truth, what do I do next? If it's not true, let it go. My thoughts shouldn't be a place of fear for me, Roxy. And and you're so smart in saying that and utilizing and leveraging that, because it's really slowing things down so you can be comfortable digesting what's happening.
Mm.
Some people just throw it down, or run away from it, and I think the key is you're the captain of your mind, right? And where it goes is a lot to do with where you direct it. Kim, yes, we have to be, because if we don't, it's easy to start looking back at the past. Andrea?
Yeah. The message from this LinkedIn user, I want to add one question to it. When you sit there and you sit with your thoughts and you ask and you value your thoughts, are they right or wrong? Or, by the way, there's never a right or wrong or good or bad. Or, but ask yourself, is this my thought or is it coming from someone else? And you will realize it when you practice it more and more, it is a thought coming from someone else because someone told you over and this particular thing and it's coming from your past.
Well, for sure, and the
Yeah.
future is dependent on your now, right? What you do today will give you the foundation for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And how many happy days can you create? If you just take potluck, you're going to get your share, but what can you do to support that, to help you? And the other thing is you got to determine what success and happiness is to you. And when you find it, do you enjoy it? Do you take a moment not to think about what you're doing, but what just happened? And if you could celebrate it somehow, you know, however, then you'll give it more time, give it more recognition, and that gives your mind something to shoot for. And, after a while, you get into a rhythm, you get into a routine, and all of a sudden you get more fun, more laughter, more happiness, and you're helping people. Ice says, Rita, yes. Um, my father-in-law loves to say we're all here because we're not all there. Makes sense. If everybody appreciates everybody's differences instead of the other way, we covered that. I think, okay, very powerful about reflect, determine where we are ourselves. Kim is, yes, Don, the now. This is the word I keep hearing and feeling. Operate in the freedom of now. Dean, didn't know, okay, that this was on YouTube. Yes, it
Yeah.
live streams to YouTube also. So if you have trouble with LinkedIn, you can always switch over. We covered
Yeah,
that.
this one. Yeah.
Yes, we have to, because if we don't, it's easy to start looking back. Dean comes back with his potato again.
Yeah, I saw that coming in.
Yes, Dean, it's interesting. We can comment on YouTube as well. Nice to see you, Dean. Um, and then another, Omar, my link is not allowing commenting. Kim, I'm so happy your daughter found her passion and has been able to progress doing it. Well, when you do well, you help other people around you do well because they're proud of you. That you're making so many people happy that you may not even be totally aware of. Thank you, Kim. Ambimbola is here.
Yeah, she's coming back with a nice one.
Speaking to oneself and get to realize who you are. What are your core values? What do you want from life? One needs to desire to become a better person to be able to affect that desired change. Well, given a choice between better and worse, always take better, right? Always be better. And challenge yourself to do things you didn't do yesterday, but maybe feel you built some strength for tomorrow. Thoughts or reflections of the past is something huge. Do we need to reprogram our minds to set our thoughts positively? Yeah, I think so. Just like you reset your temperature gauge when things change.
Yeah.
Cindy Nordstrom, you're welcome. Lillian comes back with, Ambimbola, very important. Ambimbola actually introduced Lillian to the show. So what's your thoughts on the latest comments, Andrea?
They are very wise comments. I like Ambibola's comments because it's very true. Because you need to sit down and need to find out for yourself what do you want for your life, what are your values, and you need to know what your values are, and mine are transparency and honesty and serving and I live by this now, and I feel free. Yeah, there you have your freedom. Yes, because I do, and also coming back, Roxanne, who was that who shared this passion of the daughter? I can relate to that because when you when you have transformed and you know what you want and you know your values, and you will, yeah, there, Cynthia, and you will find, you will recognize your direction, you will recognize your purpose. And it may sound strange, but I had a conversation yesterday with two people because we are trying to organize an event for families in India. And they were saying that they love me and talk working with me because I am, the child within has awakened. And when I go back as a child, I only wanted to be friendly and kind and loving. Yes.
Mhm.
So I found my purpose because I I actually allowed my inner child to wake up again. Yeah. So there you have a young child who had the purpose in front of her at young age. And I think I've said it before, a universe is giving you not what you want, but it's giving you who you are. And the daughter of Cynthia is a perfect example. Yeah, she is going deep into this learning a Christmas song by sign language, and discovers her love for it, and then knows this is what I want to do. It gives me satisfaction. It gives me, I feel free, because I'm sure she will feel free within, because she does what she loves.
Well, I think that also shows you should be free to be passionate,
Yeah.
right? Is to have a passion or want to be more passionate about what you do because it'll make you happier in doing it. If you're doing things you're good at and pay you well, but you're not passionate about, you're sacrificing too much when you can have all three, right? If you're good for something, you're good for something else. So why not again give yourself the freedom to change from what isn't working that might have, or maybe never, to the point where you say it's too much trouble to get too little out of something, and I'm going to give my whole self to something new. And plus it's more interesting. It's more exciting when you're trying new things. Let's keep going with the comments. I'll start from the bottom because I never know where I left off. That's what I see in you, Andrea Joy. You have rediscovered your inner joy. It's what attracts me to your message. Well, that's so kind and
Thank
generous.
you. Thank you, Roxanne.
That's beautiful, Andrea. Going back to your inner child and being able to bring that out of others is awesome. Um, let's keep going. That's what I see. Okay, we covered that. Kim says, that's beautiful. Going back to, okay. And then Cindy says, she worked incredibly hard to make sure she got what she wanted.
Mm,
Well, I think that's so important because nothing I've ever done really well didn't take hard work and hard thinking. It's just the way it
mm,
is. And plus, why wouldn't you want to work harder and think more about something that you're passionate about, that
yeah.
you want to learn more about? And if what's attracting you is things like learning, growing, changing, meeting new people, having new conversations, you're a winner. Too many people measure like how much you're making there. Well, and if you say whatever it is, they, oh, is that all? And they don't ask you, what are you doing there? Who are you doing it with? I mean, people pay a lot of money to go to college and sometimes walk away with nothing. So, what are you doing in the now? Being so true. Um, always choose better over worse, for sure. You know, and people know better. That's the interesting thing. Everybody knows the answers. Some people just aren't applying them. Wise words, Andrea. We learn from the past and become wiser and stronger, building a better future. Anne is so
Yeah.
wise. And I'm so grateful to have her on the show as many times as she supports it. LinkedIn has opened the doors as far as freedom. It provides a seat at the table, but it's up to you where you sit. And it's up to you what you eat,
Yeah.
right? And how much you enjoy yourself at the table. And, who's passing the plates? Who's making sure everybody gets something? And that's individually, we're just so much. Collectively, we could be anything. You put 40 minds together at a time and share quality conversations, safe environments like we're providing here. And that's what gets people off of center. Cindy, you're
Mhm.
welcome. Here we go with thoughts. Okay, we we've covered that. So what's going on here, Andrea? We've got a lot of people who seem to
Yeah.
themselves.
Wow. I feel so so humble. Yeah, that's the right word. Humble to see all these messages. And I got a message today from one of my connections, and he said, I wish the whole world would be like that, huh? Like loving themselves. And I said, it that wish is coming from the ego mind,
Hmm.
but uh, saying to yourself, I want to educate as best as I can, wherever I am. That is coming from the heart. And he was
Hmm.
like, woof. But it's true. I was reminded as well because I said it, I don't know, a while ago, a long while ago, a year ago. So I wish I could teach. I wish everybody would love themselves. And that, and my mentor said, no, this is coming from your ego again, Andrea. You have to speak from the heart. And I have another analogy. It's called right for you, and it's another shoe. It's another shoe, and I'm going to use this one. Imagine you bought yourself a nice pair of shoes, and and the leather was a bit hard, but you liked them, and you thought, okay, they it will be fine. So you buy those shoes, and you wear them, and you start getting painful feet, and you get blisters, and all you do is you look after the blisters and you plaster them instead of going back to the shop and buying yourself a pair of shoes with beautiful leather which will be comfortable for your feet. And this is exactly how it feels when you stay in the cage. You will
Hmm.
always put the plasters on your wounds.
Yeah, and I think that's what visualization can do for people. I think that taking inventory, acknowledging what's working, what isn't working,
Mm,
what you can do to change things. I mean, that's where journaling helps, writing things down. But the other thing is, you could write them down and never get back to them. You may write it down, never take action on it. But the nice thing about having this conversation in real time is you're getting responses from things you're thinking that now you're saying. And, just from 3 or 4 really quality compliments back to Andrea, that was really a reflection of what Andrea put out there in order for people to feel that way to share.
mm,
So when you answer a question, you also create another question possibly from that answer or that question. And then a lot of people can get answers to questions that they didn't even ask themselves, wouldn't even known to ask. But someone says, "Well, how's this?" And you think to yourself, "Well, how is it?" And if it's just a check and you say, "Hey, everything's great," well, then you covered that base. And if it's not, maybe you have an opportunity. You got the rest of your life to achieve whatever you want to achieve. And that's why one step at a time, one action at a time, one moment at a time is all you need to focus on. right? And when that next moment comes, if you're still focused on what you are, stay with what you're at. But at a certain point, when it's already in the oven baked, you got to take it out and eat it, right? You don't start baking something new. Cindy says she worked incredibly hard to make sure she got what she wanted.
Mm.
Well, and she probably took more pleasure and pride in getting it by working that hard. And it sets a pattern for your rest of your life about working hard. And working hard isn't bad. You know, working uncomfortably is terrible.
Yeah, that is working hard.
Yeah. I mean, if you're sitting in an office and no one gives you nothing to do, and
Mm.
you just look at the clock, or no one recognizes you, no one cares about you, and that's halfway. There's office environments where people make you feel awful just being around them, the way they talk, the way they act. So I would rather work busy and hard with people I have joy with than be nothing with a bunch of nothingness just getting paid. I remember when people used to come for a job and they would say, what's the pay? Naturally, that's what people ask. And I'd say, well, why don't you ask, what are you going to do here? And who can you become? Right?
Yeah,
If I said, okay, it's $20 an hour, you
yeah,
go into a hole every day and then 9 hours later step out. Would you
yeah,
take that kind of money? But if I said, hey, you could be everything you ever wanted to be if you allow yourself, how much is that worth? So people are looking at the payment before they're looking at the environment, before they're looking at the responsibilities. Roxanne says, that's what I see in you, Andrea. Okay, we've covered that.
yeah.
Uh, Ice says, I love the idea. The inner child is a gift we can use. It's best. I fully can do this with my friends, especially young friends. Um,
Yeah.
the inner joy that Andrea just flows out. Well, great. Well, I think everybody approves of you today, Andrea. Uh,
That's so nice, isn't it? Oh, I feel so loved.
well, now that you filled your 5 people, you got all this love, and all you were doing was talking from the heart, right? And
Mm.
sharing reality and real experience. Me too, down job satisfaction with like-minded people. Uh, that's everything. When they did a survey of employees and they asked people, what is your motivating factor at your employment? It was always,
Read this one from Roxanne.
yeah, I bought a beautiful pair of shoes that shredded my heads every time. Had to let
Mm.
go of them. They were no good for me. Still have scars on my heels from them.
Hmm.
Gave them to my daughter and they fit her perfectly. Got to do what's right for you. Uh,
Yeah.
no question. And sometimes you got to just experience it to experience it. Sometimes that's the best lesson is it takes your thoughts away and replaces it with reality and knowing what is. And some things become more difficult and most things become easier after you engage them, you know? Um, so LinkedIn says, well, Valerie's here. Valerie's just great too. Good to see you, Valerie.
Mm.
Love this. Another heels. Uh,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, because the story was going on, maybe you don't see it, but I can say nothing wrong with the shoes, just not right for me. Same thing with a few workplaces. Beautiful place, great pay, but shredded my soul. That's very true. What is $20 worth for a payment in an hour when you hate going through this hour? Yeah,
Hmm.
it's worth nothing. Absolutely nothing.
No, and it's what we're talking about is really just common sense, right? Would you go outside in a blizzard in your bathing suit? It wouldn't make any sense, right? You would rush back in the house and dress up or maybe never go out. And it's the same thing. If you drive every day and you dress up every day to go to a place every day and then sit in a space every day with a bunch of other people, that's your life right there. And if
Mm.
you're faced with harassment or neglect or anything, and it happens in the workplace, politics, bureaucracy, you name it. And if you don't do anything, you get used to doing what you're doing. And then you lose your interest in leaving. And that's what I think is so important. Kelly says the mental cost in a toxic environment is not worth any dollar amount because
No.
why? Because you don't have to. Some people are in situations they didn't have a choice. You name it, something happened, could have been an accident, whatever. And they're stuck in what their situation is, at least for the time being. But if you have the freedom to join groups and to leave groups that don't serve you, that's the best freedom you can have. Is like we said when we opened the show, is movement. Valerie says, sounds like a fable. Cautionary
Like that.
heals heals or healing heals. Well, maybe you can incorporate.
You gotta write it.
You can
The
incorporate
title is already good.
in your free class. Well, with that said, it's right on the dot. Our hour. I try to be respectful, top an hour, because I know it's a work day and a lot of people have different Zooms and appointments to go to. So I want to thank Andrea so much. Andrea, final words to a lovely audience.
Thank you for having me again, Don. It was a pleasure.
Well,
Absolute pleasure. And thank you for all the beautiful comments. And those ladies who want to enter the course, please send me a DM.
okay, well, sounds good. And you could look at the comments to see the people who had interest.
Yes, I will do.
So tomorrow we're going to have Jenny Maxwell, and Leslie is going to be with her tomorrow. And then the list just keeps getting better and better. Kelly will be here on Thursday with Miriam, who's brand new, and you got to watch and tune into Miriam. And then Friday is Christy Howard, again with Harvey Tuck, who's just a great guy. So anyways, with that, signing off, come back, rest up 23 hours from now, and we'll hit it again with Jenny and have a wonderful show. So take care. Take care. Bye for now.